When it comes to nutrition, I like to make sure people understand this. Nutrition does not equal weight loss, or nutrition does not mean weight loss. When I say I'm a nutritionist, that doesn't mean I'm going to teach you only how to lose weight.
Yeah.
That is part of what we do, but it's not the only thing we do. And when you hear nutrition, you really need to think about nourishment.
I like
How
the
do
nutrition
I
nourishment.
feed my body? I really focus on nourishing the body. How do I feed it well for it to do the things I want it to do?
I like
So that it can be capable of me meeting those goals that I want to meet. Whether you're a business professional or mom at home, it is all about the goal.
So we got this special video for you. I ended up running into this person and we had a conversation. The conversation just kept going. Like it literally kept going and was talking about like health and was talking about nutrition and different things. I said, hey, let's put this conversation in front of viewers.
Welcome. We are here with another video, and we talk a lot about being an asset or different ways that you can be able to help improve your life. And we talk about finances and things like that as well too. But if you're going to go to that next level or to be able to achieve what you want to, your physical matters, like your body, your health matters. And since health matters, we got something very special today because we have someone who knows all about the physical, knows all about health and things. And so I want to introduce her now. And I had like a long sheet of her resume, and she said, listen, she's modest. She said, you don't have to pull the whole legal paper document out. All right, so I'm going to let her go over a little bit more about her, but I want to introduce her. Her name is Qula Madkin.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So listen, y'all, I'm super excited to be here. Just a little bit about me. I am Qula Madkin. I'm a registered and licensed dietitian nutritionist, a certified diabetes education and specialist. And so as a nutritionist, I work with families and individuals, really focusing on health from the inside out. And so I'm excited to be here with my experience to share some things with you guys today.
Perfect. Well, you know what? Let's get right into it. So I'm going to just mention a few of the things that I hear when it comes down to, you hear the word diet or nutrition. Diet almost for some is like death. They're like, oh my goodness, you mean to tell me in order for me to live, I got to drink water, which we have here, and they're bringing the leaves out later because that's how I eat. I just leaves and water.
Wow,
because I'm trying to be here. No.
Okay.
So, but no, that's the idea. Sometimes that can be the myth. I think that's the story that you hear so often. And to me, a story that continues to be repeated is a story that is believed because we digest words over a period of time. And so you continue to hear these stories, and hopefully we can kind of help break and push through some of that, kind of uproot a little bit of that ground. So with that myth, you can only drink water. You can only have leaves. What's your take on that?
That is a myth. That is not true, right? So I do agree with you, though. When people think about being healthy, they literally say, I'm going to start eating salads and drinking more water.
Yeah.
While, of course, salads are great, but how we fix them and prepare them is also a thing, right? And just leaves aren't as nutritious. I mean, leaves are great. They're really high in water when you think about salad, but you want to actually do some different things. We'll talk about that later. But that is very true. The myth is water and salad. And let me just say this. You can eat other foods and be healthy. I think that is more about prioritizing as an individual or as a family what's going to work for you. Yeah.
That's a good point. In order for me to be healthy, it costs too much. And I just do not want to do that. I know that it doesn't cost too much. What are some of the maybe kind of foods or different things that you can eat that people may be surprised at that maybe help, whether it's help building energy or things, or just kind of helping them to be able to lead a better or a little bit more of a healthy lifestyle?
Right. Well, and I think the key, what you just said, was taking the steps to be healthier.
Yeah.
So we sometimes take healthy and think it's all or nothing. And I work with clients. I've done this for almost 20 years. I've been a dietitian, and I've seen a lot. Okay. And so I think it's really important to understand that it does not have to be all or nothing. You can really build a healthy lifestyle with small steps. Number one, we have to stop being fooled by diet culture. And what I mean by that is that jumping on every bandwagon. We have something new every year, every month, that's going to help you lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks.
True.
Shred this, gain that. And so we really need to really go back to the basics of eating real food. If I can teach people anything, that's my number one tip. I'd much rather you eat real food than eat so much refined, processed food. And I think we can look back in history and see the difference in how my mother cooked, my grandmother cooked. And nowadays, we are in a cycle of fast food restaurants, going through drive-thrus, grabbing stuff in a package. Kids are eating out of boxes and bags. And I think that has been a key that's derailed our progress. But we do have options. Things like rice, people say, don't eat that. Potatoes, don't eat rice and potatoes. They're starchy. But there are ways to do it in a healthier way and to be healthier. Because again, I think it's really important to understand, for some people it is expensive. But I think we also have to start prioritizing, if we can, health. So that's hard to do though. Because if I'm a single mom or a mom with a family and I'm barely making ends meet, I may not be so focused on the nutrition aspect. And that's understandable.
It may just be getting them fed.
I'm just trying to get my children fed, and to me, that's a win.
Yeah.
So, we have to think about it, and every situation is different.
Yeah.
Right?
But you was mentioning about goals. And I think that in order for you to be able to achieve goals, you have to have the certain level of energy and things that you need. And that is going to help determine whether or not you have the energy and that be able to take the kind of action you need. Whether you're a business owner, CEO, entrepreneur, whether you go to work every day, no matter what it is, being able to achieve your goals, you're going to need a certain amount of energy. What are some of the foods then that people can key in on, or make sure they at least have in a refrigerator, or eventually move it towards their shopping list to include?
Excellent. So I think that's really important. That's a really great point to kind of discuss. So when we think about energy boosting foods, what we would say goal setting foods to really move us to the next step. We tell children all the time, you hear this on TV, you hear this in flyers and on magazines, they need to eat breakfast so they can perform, right? We tell athletes, you need to eat well to perform. But as regular folks, sometimes we don't say to ourselves, we need to eat well to perform. We must make it a priority. So when we think about the foods, my first tip, jump right into those fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
This is why. Because people think, oh, fruits and vegetables, we just, fiber, antioxidants, brain health, memory health, just nourishing our body, treating it well. That is a place where most people really need to start, because what we know is the research shows that most Americans don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. Therefore, we are definitely not getting all the nutrition and being nourished from those fruits and vegetables that we could. So fruits and vegetables is a really good base. Nuts and seeds, lean protein, and we really want to emphasize when you're doing things like fruit, because that's a very fast, quick, on-the-go snack. I always encourage people to pair it with protein. That's nuts and seeds, maybe an eggs and cheese, because we want to make sure we have a good impact to feel full. Because when we go just with an apple, that keeps the doctor away, right? An apple a day.
Which I definitely do. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute.
But you need to pair it with something so you're not starving. Because we want to have good balance. Because a lot of times the decision making comes when we're hungry. The bad decisions. We're hangry. And so we don't care what we get, we just grab. So planning and having a plan in place is sometimes scary. People think, well, I don't want to meal prep. I got to sit at home and do all this and prep. Some people like that, some people don't. Personally, I do not. 4 children, I have a lot of things going on in my family. I don't have time for that, but I like to have a plan in place, know what's in my cabinets, know what's in my pantry, so I can have a sense of preparation, right? So nuts and seeds, whole grains, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
Yeah.
Most people start drinking more water to lose weight. Well, water is important because it helps with bodily functions. It's not a weight loss pill or drug. It helps our body to do what it needs to do. And most of us, by the time we realize we're thirsty, we're dehydrated. Not to the point of going to the doctor, but we need to be hydrated more. And I think that's something we're missing. And the other thing I'll say real quickly is rest. Rest. Finding time to rest to gain energy. So food is important, right? It's fuel for our bodies, but there's so many other layers to it.
You said so much.
Yes,
said so
I did.
much.
Sorry, guys.
No. It's been all good information, but I want to kind of jump back. We were just talking about some of the fruits, and you were just talking about the energy in that part, and water. I think sometimes when people hear the word dehydration, they're like, listen, I'm not dehydrated. Right. I am not panting. I am good, So, and a lot of times people think in that case then, well, I don't really have to drink that much water. Like, and maybe what if I just mix some of these other things in there in order to drink water? Why do you think, in your opinion, just staying on water, that topic of water, why is it tough to drink it?
Well, I think it depends, right?
Okay.
Because I was raised, we didn't drink Kool-Aid, we drank water. We didn't
Okay.
have access to other things. We had water and milk. So I grew up on water, and I like water, right? So some kids or people don't drink water because they didn't grow up on drinking as much
Okay.
water. I think it can be hard because of flavor and taste. I think it can be hard because you have to carry it with you. And I think some people just don't like it. But what I am trying to get people to understand is that we need it. Most of us aren't getting enough.
What's enough?
So it's individual,
Okay.
and obviously we can't calculate everybody, but this is key. You want to think about half of your body weight, whatever your body weight is. Let's just use a person that weighs 300 pounds. Half of that in ounces. So that would be 150 ounces of water a day.
Okay.
Is what you want to think about. So take your body weight and think about half of that in ounces and start there. That is probably a lot for most people, and it could be a little bit more than they need, but it's a really solid foundation. I like to use that rather than the 8-ounce cups a day, which is a good.
Because we all have different sizes and things.
All are
and
different
weights.
sizes. Listen, not only are we different sizes, we have different fluid needs, but we all utilize our water pretty much the same, but we're all active in different
Different
ways.
lifestyles.
Different
things.
lifestyles.
So that's a good point, because I mean, if you play sports, you're like, oh, I blow through that.
Right.
Because, you know, I still need to continue to hydrate and rehydrate.
Or if you're a really busy professional who's
Yeah.
walking all the time, meeting people, going in and out of offices, getting in and out of your car, or if you're a person who's lifting and moving, that means you're going to need it more than someone who just sits at a desk. The other tip on water
Because it's
is
a process. You
it's
don't
a
have to,
process.
you don't do this today. I'm like, dang, tomorrow I got to,
Right.
100 ounces of water for
And
me.
you'll be on the toilet, you'll be going to the
Yeah,
bathroom a lot. So your body has to get used to that. The other thing I tell people is don't forget about those water-rich foods.
Let's get
Okay,
talk to
so
us.
that's where we get
Talk
that
to
lettuce.
us. Let's
You know
get-
what I mean?
Let's talk about the water-rich
Water-rich
foods.
foods, lettuce, of course, cucumbers, watermelon, all of our fruits, like things like strawberries and oranges. But the other thing people don't think about is soups and broths.
Mhm.
They're very high in water content. So these foods also count as water. Okay, so I tell people don't just feel like it has to be from this many ounces of plain water, but you can also do things like flavor your water.
Okay.
You know, with cucumbers and oranges and mint. So people are really
Oh,
interested
okay.
in that
When you
kind of
said
stuff
flavor
too.
it, I was wondering, because you know some people like, you know what? Can I flavor it with some of the? And I thought about not asking this and mentioning this because some people may be like, listen, I know where you're going. Listen, I love this stuff. This stuff tastes good. You're not about to tell me that it's something wrong with this water. If I sprinkle a pack of something in it, I still had the water,
Right.
and I'm just converting it into this new flavor. Is that okay? I mean, is that the same?
So you're converting the flavor. No, I absolutely.
And you know the packs I'm talking about. I can't
Yeah.
think of the name
I
of
know
them,
what
but
you're
yeah.
talking about.
Mhm.
The different packs where you can have the sugar-free Kool-Aid, the sugar-free packs of things. So I do think that's a good option for transition.
Okay, but it's not. You don't park there. You just.
There you go.
You know, you keep the car in drive. You may red light it, but eventually.
You eventually want to get to plain water. And I tell people this, get there how you can, right? Don't feel bad because you need to use packets.
That
But
reminds
think
me of the
about the
song.
goal
Mhm.
of transitioning to getting to more plain water.
You see the goal that you want to be, and it doesn't mean that you jump from here to there. It's some growth. There's some things in between. And so with diet, with nutrition, it's not an all or nothing.
Right.
So you're able to grow over a period of time. You don't have to judge where you are now by where they say the end destination of things are if you're continuing to gradually go in that direction.
Well, I think what's important is that when it comes to nutrition, I like to make sure people understand this. Nutrition does not equal weight loss, or nutrition does not mean weight loss. When I say I'm a nutritionist, that doesn't mean I'm going to teach you only how to lose weight.
Yeah.
That is part of what we do, but it's not the only thing we do. And when you hear nutrition, you really need to think about nourishment.
I like
How
the
do
nutrition
I
nourishment.
feed my body? I really focus on nourishing the body. How do I feed it well for it to do the things I want it to do?
I like
So that it can be capable of me meeting those goals that I want to meet. Whether you're a business professional or mom at home, it is all about the goal.
Yep.
But I think we have a misperception about our goals.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't set what we call those SMART goals, which for some
Mm-hmm.
people just are really hard and they don't want to think about it. They have to be specific. You got to know what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be measurable. They have to be attainable. realistic, and they must be time bound. So we got to put some things in place. The process. We can't not want to go through the process. With nutrition, being healthier, the ultimate goal for most people is lose weight fast. Start January 1st, January 15th, I need to be down 20 pounds. That's not realistic. And when you do things like that, there's a never-ending cycle of yo-yo dieting and unhealthy habits that can be very harmful long term. And so we really want to encourage people to take a process and know it's not all or nothing.
You said something I never heard. Yo-yo dieting. I like that.
It's an old term.
Yeah. You know what? I remember years ago I was young and the yo-yo was in. Shout out to my brother. He used to do the stuff. He was like, I'm walking the dog with the yo-yo.
Wow,
We're doing
good.
the trip. Yeah, you know, I can't remember what the walking the dog meant, but I remember the yo-yo craze. Like, it was hot.
So I want to thank Qula for coming through. Qula Madkin. She came through and did her thing when it comes down to talking to us about nutrition, diet, and the impact that the foods can have on our bodies. All right. And when we know this, we're able to understand, listen, if I got some things I need to do, I got some goals, then one of my goals need to deal with my body, the physical, which is important too. So I want to send a very, very thank you for her coming through and talking with us about this information.